What's up? Today I'll be doing the second part of the tutorial. For this part, we're gonna be doing the blocking system. Before you get started, you're going to need a set of animations. One for like the block. It has to be like a loop, and then one for like parry. So yeah, you're gonna need those two animations for now. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm gonna start in the local script, and I'm gonna be writing a little thing in the input code right here. That's gonna be handling the block. So go right here, write else if, and I'm gonna do right click for the block. Make sure we're not on cooldown. Make sure we're not stunned. Alright, so that's the little input code right there. Now I'm gonna import some of my animations. This animation right here is just the normal blocking. It's just like the block pose. Here's the parry. Only this one is a loop, and this is if, like, let's say you hit somebody and they're not blocking. You don't need this one right now. Oh, also I named it block anims. So once we detect that we're right clicking, we need it to load like the animation. So here's the animation. We load block anims 1, so that's like the loop, and we play it. We're also gonna need a few variables for this. We need a variable to detect if we're blocking or not. So I'm gonna go back up here. Right. Now I go back down here. Now that we are blocking, we set blocking to true. And we're gonna also make a new send something to the server, so other clients can know that you're blocking. So this is the data that I'm gonna send, and then data, and then while we're here, we're just gonna repeat, wait until blocking equals false, or actually never mind. Yeah, just we'll keep on waiting until the blocking variable is set to false, and we have to tell it to stop playing the animation. So nice. Now we need to detect when your player is not blocking. So that code looks something like this. Once the input ends, make sure it's a right click, and we currently are blocking. Then we set it to blocking equals false, and then we tell the server that we stop blocking. Nice. Now we're gonna go to here, and we're gonna need to write the script to actually make the blocking work. So once again, we go track this down to here. If that data.action was block, then we need to we're gonna basically detect block by inserting a boolean value like this into like the character. So we need to first check if they have the if they have that value, and I named it block. So if the player is blocking, then we need to set that value that we found to true. Otherwise, if the player didn't already have that boolean value, we need to give them the boolean value. So I'm just gonna make a boolean value called block, and I'll set its value to true. Now, pretty much the same thing happens for unblock. Just put this here, turn this into unblock. Don't need any of that. Just simply set it to false. Nice. So if I run this right now, I'm blocking. I let go, and I'm not blocking. See? We can hit people. It's all good. Okay, but now we need to make like the block actually kind of work. So let's go to the script here. And where I wrote take damage here, I just want to know if this person has the block variable boolean value. My bad. Okay, so this is in the case that they do. So if in the case that they do block, we need to send a value across. We need to have them play like that parry animation, right? And the place where we send information about what we hit is right here in the slash function on the local script. So we need to pass in that value, the block animation or the parry animation over. So, yep, so I set a variable within this table called parry, and its value is the animation that's this one right here, the second one, the parry animation. So, yeah. Now, once we get there, we need to tell the, we need to create like a parry animation player to play. So that's it. I named it parry animation. Its animation ID is the parry value. I play it. Now, in the case that the player did not block, you just take damage right here. And also, if they don't have that variable in the first place, make them take damage. And we can test this. I'll make a duplicate of this dummy. Name this one block dummy. And I'm going to insert a boolean value because he can't create one on his own. And name it block. You have to name it exactly like this. So now if I hop in, if I hit the block dummy, he's going to play that animation. It'll look cooler if he had a sword. I think I can. Alright. I'm gonna duplicate this guy right here. Let's move him here. So. Wait, never mind, it doesn't work. But yeah, if he had a sword on him, it would look better. It would look like he's actually parrying. But yeah, you can see like he's not taking any damage or anything. Meanwhile, if I go over to this guy and I hit him, he takes damage. See? Same with this guy right here. He takes damage. So that's the basics of the blocking. Now, right now the blocking looks like super boring and like there's no hit effects or anything. So we need to add hit effects. And the way I'm gonna do that is by listening to a event. Oh yeah. Also another problem with the code right now is that other people can't see the slash. So So we're gonna be fixing that right now as well, so people can actually see use slash and stuff. So we're gonna do remote on client event connect function data, and if you see in the code right here, we're firing it to client, right? But currently the client isn't experiencing anything. Like they don't see anything, because once they pick up that event, they do nothing with it. So first, to fix the slash, we need to do this. So if the action was slash, then we slash and pass in the data that we needed. Now let's say the data.action was hit. Then in that case, we need to check the hitbox. So just like the code right here, just take all that right here, basically paste it in, get rid of this, all of the stuff in here, and this is where the hit effects are gonna happen. So let's get that started. So I made a few hit effects already. I have a hit effect and a block effect, and I can show you guys what they are. So here's the hit effect. You don't need the sounds yet. Here are the three particles, and that's pretty much what it does. The way I made this particle is it's a little bit complicated, but I'll show you guys the rundown for it. So I first started with like this blank cube right here. I made it can collide off and anchored. And the next thing I did was I added an attachment inside of this mesh right here. There are three particles in it. The first particle right here is the particles that are emitting towards the left, or technically it should be this direction, so it's the left. And I emit 15 of these per hit effect, so it does that. It looks like that. And I just duplicated that and did it to the right. And the exact specs for the particle, it's right here. I set the orientation to velocity parallel. The color you can change. Light emission I put to 1 so it glows. The size, I made something that looks something like this. And for the right, all I did that was different was set the emission direction to right. And I did set the squash. The squash looks something like this. Basically it like shrinks it and stretches it. So like it shrinks a little bit in the beginning, it stretches out, and then it comes back in. So yeah. For the transparency, I just exponentially made it more transparent. The lifetime, pretty short, 0.2 to 0.5. The rate, 100. The speed, 0.4 to 20. And then the spread angle, -2 to 2. I put 3 on the drag and made sure that it was locked apart. And remember, the right is just the left, but it emits in the right direction. See, right here. Now these right here, just kind of like a little sparky thingy. So brightness 3, so it's like super bright. Color, same thing. You can pick whatever you want. Light emission, I did 0.5. The brightness compensates for it. Orientation, velocity parallel. The size, it just goes from bigger to smaller linearly. The squash, I think it's pretty much this opposite. So it's more squashed. It's less squashed right here, and then it gets more squashed. And for the texture, I used this texture, 78451681366. Oh, I didn't say the texture for this one. For the left one, it was 80028333296. Okay. Sorry for the transparency. It just abruptly goes back after it does the little enlargement. Z offset is 1.45. I can go into what that is later. This was taken from a free model, so I didn't make this one, but I made the other two. Lifetime is 0.2, the rate 65, speed 0.725 to 1.45. The spread angle is any angle. Drag 12, delay 0.4, and emit count is 15. And the reason for that is just so when I click this, it delays a little bit. Yeah, and it's locked apart. That's the hit effect. I'm gonna put that in the sword effects, and the block. It's pretty lazy. This is what it looks like. So basically, it's a ring, and here's the texture: 791,957,9655. Brightness 3. I made the size just kind of get bigger and then slowly maintain that. And transparency, I wait a little bit before increasing the transparency. Emission direction doesn't really matter. Lifetime 0.25, rate 20, speed very slow, and yeah. And I only emit one of these. Now for the outer, so this is what it looks like. It's like sparks. So the color you can change. The brightness is 1, light emission is 1. Velocity parallel. The size goes up a little bit and then goes back down. The squash, as you can see, that's what it looks like. You just squash. It's a little bit more squashed in the beginning. It gets a little bit longer, and it gets back small. The texture is the same as the right texture, like the right effect. Like it comes from the right side, that effect. And emission direction is right, but it doesn't matter too much because the lifetime is 0.2 and 1, rate 1000, speed 10 to 20, and then the spread angle is 360, so emission direction doesn't really matter. Then the acceleration is negative 20, and I put drag as 1.5. So there you go. So now we have to do the hit effect. So for the block right here, you don't need this part, that's for sound. We'll look over that in a different video. But I clone the block effect, I make sure it's not anchored, and I weld it to whatever I hit, so then it like follows whoever you hit. And I make it emit 30 on the outer, 1 on the ring. That's for the block, right? And then I parent it and make the light fade away. And yeah, speaking of the light, I added a light in the attachment. You can change the light color to whatever you want and the brightness. For the hit effect, it's almost the exact same thing. So you paste the hit effect right here and here. Once again, you don't need the sound because I'm not going over that this video. I rotate the slash effect, like the little hit effect, by a lot, and I emit everything by 15, and then I tween the light out as well. So let's see how this works. So as you see, oh, don't mind that, that's because the sound doesn't load. As you can see, there's the hit effect now. The block guy just, has that block effect. So, yeah. Now for the next thing that we're gonna do is for whenever you hit the player and they aren't blocking, you want them to like play an animation, right? So it's literally the exact same thing as the parry thing right here, except I named it something else. I named it, I think, the hit animation. Hit anim. Here it is. So data dot hit. We did not put that in for right here, so we need to say hit equals block anims 3. Remember, you have to have your own animations because I can't share the animations. The IDs won't work for you. So now let's play it again. So yep, he plays that animation whenever he gets hit. The guy who's not blocking. See? So yeah, that's what we have for this video. It covered blocking and the hit animations. The next video I'm probably gonna do the stamina and stuff. But yeah, there it is. That's like the basic sword stuff completed. Almost everything is done. And I hope you're left with this. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments. Also, from now on, I don't think I'll be dropping the code in the comments anymore because I want you guys to actually like learn how it works. You know, like the code. Yeah. If this video hits I don't know, 100 likes, okay, I will be doing a request. So I'll pick some random comment and I will make that the next tutorial, and I will be dropping a tutorial about like the stamina for this as well. Yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.